computer. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start again. So this is my introductory slide, okay, and a little bit about me. And some of you already know me, but the first thing that you might want to know, because people get weirded out when I start to act like I'm not from the US, so I just like to say to everyone, I'm a nomad, which means that I'm from everywhere and nowhere, as I was saying. And my family is originally from Haiti. But we grew up, my brother and I grew up in exile because, you know, there was a dictatorship from the 50s through the 80s. My dad is an intellectual, and they're usually targeted under dictatorships. So I was born in Brazil, in Rio. And then we lived in Mexico for many years. So I actually learned to speak in Mexico. My parents sent me to the little preschool around the corner while they were at work, and I learned to speak, and I came back speaking in Spanish, and my mom looked at my dad, did you teach her Spanish? No. Did you? No. So I didn't learn French, which was our home language, until later on. And then when I was about 10, we moved to Trinidad and Tobago, which is in the Caribbean. It is the last island in the Caribbean archipelago right next to Venezuela, and the language there is English. So I learned English in Trinidad, and my other English is very Caribbean, but I don't speak it in the US because it's weird to do that. And then I moved to the US to go to college. Okay, I went to college on the East Coast, and I've been in California as an adult pretty much the whole time with a little break. Okay, and I've taught elementary bilingual classrooms pretty much the whole time. And that I taught for about 10 years total. And in San Francisco I taught, and I taught in North Carolina. I went to UC Berkeley, where I got my doctorate in something in this graduate school of education, but my doctorate is called Language, Literacy, and Culture in Education. So I'm more of like a sociolinguist or cultural studies ethnographer kind of a person. So I designed, if you took EDU 5010, that's the course that I designed. So that's my field. Okay. And I worked for West Ed for several years, employed and also as a consultant. So I worked with Aida Walke, who came up with, you know, the article that you read and all of that stuff. And I also worked with secondary teachers at that time. And then I've been at Cal Poly since 2009. Okay. Oh, and a random fact about me is that I'm a potter. I make ceramics, and yeah, just a little bit about me. Okay. And so now, oops, I forgot to delete this slide. Okay. Now about you. So what I'd like for you to do is to think for a little bit. How many of, oh good, there's 6 of you. So one thing you look forward to when you start teaching, one thing you're nervous about, one aspect about you that is important. It could be about your culture. It could be about how you are in the world. It could be about your interests, and one random factoid. Okay, so ready? Everybody think about that for 1 minute. Okay, thumbs up when you're ready. My random factoid is that when I was a teenager, I was really into purple, and I wore everything I had to be purple. There you go, my random factoid. Okay, thumbs up when you're ready. Thanks, Fiona, Viviana, Noel, Isabel, Vanessa, Taylor. All right, so I'm going to put you in pairs. Okay, you have 3 minutes to share. Okay. Oh, we're not going to do the hello because I knew this was going to be a small group, so I deleted that part. Okay, so I'm gonna I think I have to stop sharing, and my screen is too small. Hang on, I'm not seeing. Oh, there they are, breakout rooms. Okay. All right, so I'll let you know when you have 1 more minute, and then I'll call you out in 3, okay? And introduce yourselves, etc. All that good stuff. Hi. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, I just waiting for everyone. Okay, I think that's everyone. Great. Let's see here. Share screen. All right. So let's see, who can share, who would like to begin telling us one thing about somebody they talked to? Vanessa, whenever you are ready with the screen, that with your picture, that would be awesome. Otherwise, we'll live. Okay, who would like to share something about the person they talked to? Okay, go ahead, Viviana.
So my partner was Noelle, and a random factor that she told me about herself is that she did took 4 years of ASL.
I mean, this is clapping in ASL. Thank you. Okay, Noelle, can you tell us about Viviana?
Yeah, so one thing she said that she's nervous about teaching is not knowing where to start or where to begin. How to start the behavioral management plan, or just how to start in general, which I think many of us can relate to, including myself.
Yeah, don't worry. Everything will come clear. And I'll tell you, clinical practice is so exciting. I still remember my first day. I was in San Francisco and I was teaching at a school called Hawthorne Elementary, which is now called Cesar Chavez Elementary. And yeah, it was really great. I took photos of everything my teacher did. But in those days you had to take photographs with the camera and have them developed. And I used those photos and those notes for, I want to say, like 5 years into my teaching, whenever I thought about, you know, how am I going to do this thing, right? And I mean, from things on the wall to when kids were working or whatever, just whatever reminded me of something that I could do. And then it acted as a ZPD, working in, you know, what is it called again? More capable, less capable, equal peer, and the memory one, right? So the fourth realm of the ZPD, right? So I used that stuff forever. So it's so exciting. And as long as you go in with the spirit of adventure, feel free to make mistakes, to fall, to bruise your knees, to get up again. If kids are mean to you, do not take it personally. It usually has zero to do with you and everything to do with them and their space. And treat any kinds of insults or whatever as a design issue. What can I do differently so that this kid can have a different experience, as opposed to a reflection on you? Okay. And use your cooperating teacher. Ask the person. It's true that I am eventually evaluating you, but I'm also there as a support. So do communicate with me about any difficulties that you're having. If you're having difficulty with a particular student or whatever, don't hesitate to reach out, okay? I have a super duper teaching schedule this semester. Last semester, not so much, because I have 12 of you and I was teaching 2 days a week and it changed every week. It was a different day, blah, blah, blah. But this time I'm teaching Mondays, one class 1 week, the other class the other week. So the other 4 days, I'm a little bit more open, okay? So do communicate. Okay, so who would like to share about somebody else?
I could share. My partner was Vanessa, and something that she shared with me that I thought was cool, she said she did cross country and she used to run 8 miles a day, which I was impressed because I could not do that ever in my life, I don't think.
That's not sign language. Thank you. And Vanessa, something about Taylor?
Yes, one thing that she talked about is that that she's nervous because she's gonna do her student teaching in a 5th grade class. And I'm like, yes, good luck.
I have taught 5th grade, and it is a really great grade. It's obviously a transitional time, and especially when kids come back from the winter break, they get a little bit more in the preteen phase. So I was telling Vanessa earlier this week, I was like, my kids left as children in December and they were so cute and sweet, and they came back and I was like, who are you? What happened to, and what did you do with my kids? So, and what you'll see, Taylor, is that some of them are still very much kids and some of them are starting to get into their adolescent mode, but don't be fooled. They'll act like adults and they're still kids. So it's all about consistency. And don't forget that they're going to try to be your friends, and you're number one, you're their teachers. And all of your young women, the girls try to get you roped into their mess. Do not acquiesce. Okay, when you see that mess coming, just say, I see your bus and I'm not getting on it. Okay, thanks. And Fiona, can you go next?
Sure. My partner was Isabel, and she was nervous about interacting with parents, which I feel like is a big thing that teachers worry about even further into their career.
Yeah. Thank you. This is why you're in clinical practice. Okay, take the cues from your master teacher or your cooperating teacher. Okay, and let her or him do the first contact for everything. Okay, and just watch. And you can ask me questions. Working with parents is one of my research areas. So, okay. Thanks. Isabel?
And then for Fiona, one thing that she was looking forward to was just having her own space eventually. So making sure that, she's been working this entire time alongside with the teacher. So she's just excited to have her own independence and freedom in the classroom.
Love it. That's the spirit of adventure, that if all of you can call upon it, then that's going to be great. Think of yourselves as adventurers. Okay. Thank you. All right. So next, I was going to do a land acknowledgement, but maybe I'll do it at the end if I have time. We're trying to do land acknowledgements now in the classes, but I didn't know how long this activity would take. So, but it's really nice. I found a really nice Cal Poly land acknowledgement that I wanted to share with you. But let me just get to the business and then we'll see. Hopefully we have time for that. So you're going to report next week, Monday. So exciting. Okay, so please take your COVID precautions. If you're able to find a KN95 mask, then do, because this mess that's going around right now is not a joke. The good news is people don't get as sick as they did with the previous variant. The bad news is it is super duper contagious. So last semester, my student teachers were using cloth masks or just the little surgical masks. And I think to be safe, you want to use the N95. Now they are more expensive. So I'll show you what my little, hang on a second. I'll show you my getup. By the way, I'm so sorry, but I have a dog who's freaking out. The winds are picking up and he's super nervous. So if you see me doing strange things, it's because he's pawing at me. Okay, so I have a box. I have a brown bag. Each brown bag has the name of the day of the week. This is because I'm going to be going out on the sites. Okay, so you see that? All right. In each one, I haven't opened them yet, but I have a mask. So you might not get this many, but the idea is that you have one mask. And then because you can't afford to buy a gazillion of these, if you wear one of these over that mask, then you can reuse the masks, okay? I just got mine from campus. So when you go for your clinical practice course, pick up 5, okay? When you're finished at the end of the day, you put them in the bag, and then during the week they get disinfected or whatever, okay? And then of course, anytime you touch the mask, just use the straps, okay? Treat your hands as infected, so you clean them afterwards, okay? I have to fix this because I'm leaving, like I just take off my mask and I leave it in the car and I'm like, well, that's great because now the air is blowing that stuff all over the car. So I'm still getting used to it, but that's the general idea, okay? If you don't have little, I bought a bag of those brown bags. So if you need some, I can just maybe leave them outside my door or whatever, whenever I go on campus, and then y'all can pick up your 5 baggies, okay? So to begin with, I'm gonna suggest semi-formal attire, work attire. Okay, don't wear heels though, wear flats. Okay, and then see how the teachers are dressed. Even if they are dressed in flip-flops or sneakers or whatever, I suggest dressing up just a little bit more, especially if you're teaching 5th grade, you wanna bring it up a little bit. Remember, these folks could hire you one day, okay? So like last semester, I had one student teacher whose cooperating teacher was very informal, but that one day my student teacher was wearing, those jeans that are intentionally ripped up. And I was like, So it's okay. I mean, it's sort of like she was reading the cues from the site, but she's still the outsider, right? So you still want to go a little bit higher than, okay? And then obviously a positive attitude, okay, a can-do attitude. and just, I already said, an adventurous attitude. And then take notes, okay? Just have I would just have a diary. Don't worry too much about organizing things right on the spot. Okay, there's a form called Getting to Know Students. Oh, I have to stop sharing because I should have shared the whole screen. I looked at our Canvas site and I see that it's not fully, what's the word? It's not fully populated yet. So what I did is I went into last semester's site right here and I pulled this form. I hope that you can have access to it. I might have to make it available to you next week. But anyway, it's called Getting to Know Your Students. And it's one of the Cal TPA preparation forms that you need to complete. Okay, I'm happy if you complete it by hand. I don't care. I hope that you can type into this, but I'm not sure that you can. It looks like a PDF. Okay, so so week 1, okay, you're not going to be teaching, you'll just be observing. So you'll need to have this form done, okay? And then also, if you could please find out if I can come in person to observe. I really tried the online observation last semester and I was really, really bad at it. I just can't, you know, I'm a teacher, I like people, and I just couldn't get psyched to view everything by screen and then do all the meetings, but it's just doesn't go with my learning style. So if I can, I'm gonna come see you. I have 6 observations to do, okay? If like last semester I had one school that had no visitors whatsoever. And so I had to do everything, you know, on the, you know, remotely. Okay. And then the people in your instructor in your clinical practice course will teach you, or hopefully you've already learned how to upload videos and so on via the Go React system. Okay. All right. I'm going to have a place for you. On Monday, I'm going to send you a link. I'd like for you to upload your schedule. Okay, like at what time do you start? At what time do you finish? When are the lunches? And also include your room number so I can come visit. Okay, and I need that by Wednesday. After school is fine. And then I'll create a schedule and I'll send the schedule out on Friday. Okay, and then during the next week, I'll meet with your cooperating teacher over Zoom. All right. Communications, we're going to use email. If you have an informal communication or an immediate need, like, oh, Casimir, we're in the library today or whatever, then this is my text number. So please take a picture or take it or write it down. Okay. And then last semester I was communicating, we were keeping files via Google Drive, but I think it's a little bit less secure. So I'm gonna do an experiment this semester. I'm gonna use our OneDrive, you know, that you have access to via Cal Poly, because I think that's more secure. Okay, and I need to figure out I haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna do it, but I think each of you will have one and I'm gonna just make something up and have it to you by Monday. Okay, and that's where we're gonna keep the documents. Okay, just so you know, any questions that you have regarding the TPA should go to your TPA instructor. Okay, because I've never taught that course and I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Now, I do have some expertise in teacher evaluations. So if the group has questions, I can maybe help you with like how to plan out your writing or things like that. And then y'all can communicate together and let me know. You can use that email that I sent. And then maybe we'll have another meeting and then I'll tell you, well, here's how I would do it. You know, we can't give you specific help, but if you have general questions, like last semester, one student teacher said, what is the difference between English learners and standard English learners? And that's general enough that I can help with that. Okay, so I prepared a little PowerPoint, blah, blah, blah. So if you have general questions, I can help with that, but I can't really help with specifics of the TPAs. Okay, so, and then for each observation, I'm gonna need a lesson plan and a student reflection. So there are 2 formal evaluations. So for the and final evals, we need the You know, there are different kinds of lesson plans. So I need a real lesson plan for the mid and final evals. But for the other ones, you can give me the short lesson plan. Okay, so you should see the forms when your Canvas site gets populated. Okay. Okay. Oh, we have time for the language. I'm going to do the Q&A right now, and then I'm going to ask bilingual candidates to stay. I think I have a couple of you in the room. Okay. So, any questions? Yes, Fiona.
So I have COVID right now, and I'm just not sure what to do on Monday. I tested positive yesterday, and I'm going back on Monday.
I'm so sorry.
It is what it
What a
is.
pain. What a pain. Okay,
I
this
know.
might happen to any of us. I'm waiting right now. My boyfriend has it. I don't have it, and we're waiting for the long, you know, like the CPC,
The PCR.
the PCR test results.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that could happen. Like one person get it and the other one doesn't, but this can happen to any of us. This stuff is super duper contagious. I think you email your teacher,
Mhm.
let him or her know. CC, you want to CC Paulina,
Mhm.
okay? And you're gonna hang tight.
Okay.
We have like packed the observation days for you all so that if this happens, you're not going to be short.
Okay.
Okay. And then Fiona, what we'll do is we'll figure out a different schedule for you for the week 1 activities.
Okay.
Okay. Because I think you're going to need to quarantine until you test negative.
Yeah.
Is what I'm guessing. So I'm so sorry. Are you feeling okay?
Today's been the worst day, but
Okay.
it's
Well,
not that bad.
thank you for coming to the meeting.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. And you have my number, so you can text me or whatever if you have a need. Thank you, Fiona. Good question.
Thank you.
Mhm. Other questions?
I have 2 questions. So my first question is in regards to our supervisor. You are our supervisor who's doing the observations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I got an email from a Christine Johnson,
Yes. Let me,
who she had emailed me to meet with her on Sunday. And it says that she's a university supervisor. So I was just trying to.
yeah. Okay. So what happened is that, let me just make sure that but I emailed you and she emailed you?
Yes, correct.
I wonder if you got switched out of my list. Hang on a second, Isabel. It's possible that you got switched out because I got one added. So it's,
Oh, I see.
so it may be that you will end up with her.
Okay.
So
I'll
I
meet with her
didn't-
on Sunday either way.
Yeah, meet with her on Sunday, and then you still know how to report out, and you still know what the first things that you're going to do and stuff
Okay.
are. It's just that they added somebody who she was an intern last semester, and I thought she finished, but she didn't finish. So then they gave her back to me this semester, and then I told them to switch somebody out.
I see.
Sorry.
Probably me. And then my other question is, I could probably ask her as well too, but just so I can kind of get an idea. I'm student teaching in a 4th grade classroom, and there's only 2 teachers on the campus, and they do like a block schedule. So my teacher only teaches language arts and social studies, and then the other teacher teaches math and science. I was just wondering if I should stay with my teacher or if I should follow my students and teach with the other teacher.
Yeah. So when we figure out who your supervisor is, we should communicate with the teachers and see if we can have the 2 teachers supervise you.
Okay.
So that you can see all of the content areas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
So I guess we'll have to just play it by ear.
Yeah.
But for the first, trying to think, for the first day, stay with your teacher
Mhm.
and let her or him,
Her.
let her know that your supervisors are discussing how to manage your
Schedule.
schedule so that you see all the content areas.
Okay, that works. Thank you.
Great. Good. All right. So 9:36, 2:36. I'm going to do the land acknowledgement. Okay. Because I think you might want to use it in some ways in your classes, especially for social studies. It's quite lovely. And you don't have to do it this way. You can do it more kid-friendly. This is the adult version. Okay. So I don't know if you've been to events where they do a land acknowledgement. Has anyone been to an event where you've seen a land acknowledgement done? Okay, so this is a new practice that people are doing all over the Americas, actually all over the world, because also in New Zealand and Australia and so on, to acknowledge the land of the native peoples of the land that we're on. And so you probably haven't seen it yet because you don't go as much to conferences and stuff, but pretty much people are doing like a recognition. So this is an example of one that I thought was quite nice. I thought I was going to do my own, and then I found this really cool thing on the Cal Poly website. So let's see. And I gave you the, I'll make this PowerPoint available to you so that if you wanted to use this, you could see it. No, don't start. There we go.
Mija, hello. My name is
Am I
Wildfire
sharing?
Robles Ontiveros. I'm Gabrielino and a descendant of the people of Uchiminga. Before I give a formal land acknowledgement, I would like to share with you all that I am at the BioTrek Learning Center. Much of the outside vegetation that is seen around me is native to this land and would have been seen across Gabrielino Tongva land pre-colonization. If you would like to learn more, please visit next time you're on campus. Now, I'll transition into a land acknowledgement. Cal Poly Pomona occupies the ancestral, traditional, and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva. As a land-grant institution, we pay our respects to the ancestors, elders, and relatives, past, present, and emerging. We also acknowledge that land-grant institutions contribute to the forced removal of Native Americans from their lands. And because of the occupation of Gabrielino Tongva lands, Cal Poly Pomona is able to be the great public university that it is. The Native students, staff, and faculty at Cal Poly Pomona acknowledge the original inhabitants of this land, the people of Toipinga, who are also Gabrielinos and sometimes referred to as Tongva. Toipinga is the name of the original village that existed here in this location for thousands of years before the arrival of the newcomers. We recognize the tangible evidence of continued occupation and the continued existence of the descendants. We are still here. I would also like to emphasize that although land acknowledgements are powerful statements, they are most meaningful when they are coupled with authentic and sustained relationships with Indigenous communities and community-informed actions. This is only the first step towards real change, genuine honoring, and land back. We must be committed to holding our institutions accountable and creating systemic change and going beyond the acknowledgement. In doing so, we can foster a more inclusive and decolonized future. Tehovet. Thank you.
Isn't that beautiful? I was so excited to find it because I'm sure I would have mucked that up. So to be quite honest, I am just at the beginning of my journey with land acknowledgements and with using them as a stepping stone toward more inclusion and consideration of the Indigenous contributions to where and who we are today. But even though I'm on my journey, I thought I would share it with you so that you could get on your journey too, and we'll learn together if you use it. But I thought this was really cool, and maybe you could use it in social studies or even in science. By the way, that little, the garden where she is, which is behind it's like behind building five, is amazing for science. So even if you can't bring your kids to it, you can videotape and do like a little walkabout there to share like lots of different science concepts. Okay. Okay, good. So that's it. That's all I've got for you. I'll communicate with you on Monday, and I wish you the best of luck, although you do not need it. Our student teachers usually do a superb job in clinical practice. The same things that have made your everyday life a challenge, including socioeconomic challenges, working through school, being aides or substitutes, or working with kids in after school programs. Those are the very things that are going to make you fantastic at clinical practice. And I'm not just saying that to encourage you, I have seen it. Okay. One time I was supervising these 2 PE teachers in Placentia, Yorba Linda district, one student teacher, and that the master or cooperating teacher said that she was observing somebody from another university with another teacher, and that guy was just bumbling through and our teacher was just killing it. And it's because you all work through school and you're very responsible and you're already going in with professional aptitudes. So that being said, there will be areas that are difficult and challenging. Expect them, learn from them, don't stress out. And, you know, doing the TPAs and stuff can be a little bit stressful. Yeah, just breathe through it, okay? I ask the cooperating teachers to give you a break from teaching when you're turning in your TPAs. And of course, feel free to communicate with me. You have a chance to resubmit a TPA that you did not pass. That might happen. Don't be discouraged. A lot of times it has to do with how you write things, okay? And a lot of people resubmit. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, and yeah, have a great time, and I'll see you all later, and I'll have the 2 bilingual people stay behind, and the rest of you, good luck. And Isabel, we will figure out what, as my mom would say, what's the heck, and continue, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Viviana, how did it go with your test?
I already took it, but I'm just waiting on the results.
When do you get the results?
It said till February.
Oh, geez.
I know.
But you're at CLA, right?
Yes, I
So
am.
worst comes to worst, we can switch you over to an English only class, and knock on wood. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right, good. It's a super school. Have a good time there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is that it?
Oh, no, I forgot.
Oh,
And,
okay. I was like,
there is more. There is more. But Vanessa,
okay.
a little update for Vanessa. Vanessa, I talked to the principal from your school today.
Okay.
Okay, because what happened, the reason that we weren't getting any movement on it this week is that their human resources person has been out, so he hasn't been receiving our emails.
Oh, okay.
We didn't know that. So so I just talked to Paulina this morning, and then I called your principal and I told her the situation. So we're having you report in on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so she is trying to set up some kind of a bilingual clinical practice experience. It may not be exactly what we had in mind, but it's going to be bilingual, and just hang tight, okay?
Okay.
So on
So
Wednesday we will know. So you don't show up Monday or Tuesday.
okay. Okay, yeah, I've heard the principal from that school is awesome, so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. So it's gonna work out, not to worry, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
so
good.
I will be doing like my TPAs in Spanish, or
there's some information about that on this website I'm about to show you. So let me get to it.
okay.
Share screen, desktop 2, share. Okay, 1 second. Let me just get to it. So you all know you have this site called Future Bilingual Teachers, right?
Yes.
No, where is it? There it is. I I still have to fix it. I haven't had a chance. What this is just like a brain dump from Blackboard. So it's a little bit, it needs some fixing. Okay, so the question was, do we do TPAs in English or Spanish? Depending on the grade level you get, you may or may not have a choice. Okay, so if language arts, Viviana, what grade level?
Third grade.
Third?
Third.
Okay, so you might see language arts in English. It'll be easier if you do things in English just because the system is set up for English. Okay, Vanessa, right now you're in a second grade setting. So language arts might be in Spanish, and there's a way that you can do the TPAs in Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see here. I think I put that information.
So the principal wants to place me in the second grade, do immersion classroom?
Well, we have like 3 scenarios that we're working with. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what it's going to be, but that's the first choice.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right. There is, let me see if I can make it student view. So assignments for all student teachers, descriptions, and I think I went backwards. Okay, so. Leave student view. Sorry. I'm so dramatic. Okay, so I'm not going to do student view. It's just that anything that's like this, you can't see. Okay, so here is a clarification that the CTC published about the bilingual doing TPAs in Spanish or for bilingual candidates. So both of you can look at that. Okay. And then you can ask me further questions, or you can ask your TPA instructor. Okay.
Okay. So on Wednesday, I report at 7:30 or what time?
At what time does school start? Report at least half an hour before the bell.
Okay. So yeah, they start at 8, so I'll report at 7:30.
Yeah, good idea. Okay. And,
awesome.
And I'll be communicating with you when I get information. Okay.
Okay, that's awesome.
If you don't, if for some reason we get our signals crossed, then I've been talking to the principal at the school. Okay. So
okay, that's awesome.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
okay,
don't leave. Okay. The last thing that I wanted to share with you is on this site, you can see right here for clinical practice candidates, and there are assignments that you need to do. Okay. So really just go right to guidelines for reflections for pre-credential candidates. Okay.
I have a question. Which one is the one that we have to read so that we can complete it at the end? The one that you said that we still have to complete at the end, but since we have already a workload to read it before, so we know what information to gather. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I think that if I go to student view, this might be useful for you because I don't want it to get messed up. Okay. So this is the way it looks for you. So you're going to go to the module called for clinical practice candidates, assignments for all students. I'm going to clean this up. Okay. I don't know when, but I'm going to assignments for all student teachers. And then you just go right here to guidelines. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share with you. Calypso, behave yourself. He's down there trembling, total spaz. All right. So this is what it looks like. And basically, there are 4 bilingual practice. They're like summative reflections. And what they do is that they document that you have met certain bilingual standards, the CTC bilingual standards. Okay. So this is just the table of contents. Okay. Basically, you can see here just general information about them. And so here's my proposed process. So read this document, dissect the prompt so you know what to expect, and then you create a folder and you start gathering documents and evidence, but you just throw things in the folder. Don't worry too much that you may not use it. Okay, something that might meet the guidelines for that entry, just put it in the folder and forget about it. And then right here, step 3, Viviana, this is what you were talking about. After you finish your TPAs, you're ready to begin writing. Okay, so do not worry about writing until after you finish your TPAs. Okay, because this comes just to me. The TPAs have deadlines. If you miss them, you have to resubmit in 3 weeks or whatever. I mean, it's a nightmare, but for me, it's just me. Okay, the only thing is that I want everything by like 2 weeks before the end of school or 1 week before, before the end of the semester or 1 week before, because then I don't want it to get mixed up with my grading, but if it does, it's not the end of the world. Okay, and so you can read the process on your own. Okay, I'm not gonna do all the little details, but here's a proposed calendar. Okay, you don't have to do it like this. I really don't care how you do it as long as it gets done. Okay. And guess what? Some people did not finish it before the end of the semester. It does not affect your grades. Just do it when you can finish it. The only thing about the summer is, you know, if I go away, then I can't read it. Right. So if you're going to finish it like past the deadline, make sure that we're in communication. Okay.
Okay.
So, and then, so I just wanted to tell you a little bit. This is the way one entry looks. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I have to go pick up my nephew and I had forgotten. Is it okay if I just
yeah, you can just look at the video.
listen to it? Okay, perfect. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Bye, Viviana.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So basically, Vanessa,
Yeah.
the way that you do this is you read this and then you can cut and paste this right into your Word document. Okay. And maybe change the color of this and then type underneath it, answering the questions.
Okay.
So you write it like this, just leave description right there, description. And then you write this up. Analysis, you leave it right there. And then you write this up. Reflection, and then you write it up. Okay. And then you're going to have some attachments. So then you attach them right here. Okay. And then all of them are like that. Oh, you need to do 2 in Spanish and 2 in English.
Okay.
Okay. One more thing.
Yes.
15.
So for the RECA, do we have to have it passed by the end of the semester?
Before you apply for your, let me finish this and then we'll talk about RECA.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to share with you that there are resources down here. And here you can see some entries there are readings that you might look at. And then there also, right now it's all, like I told you, it's a dump from Blackboard. So things are not looking super great in here, but oh look, Cal TPA and bilingual authorization memos right here.
Okay.
More here. And then I forgot about that. What I'm trying to find is the examples of the entries. Here, clinical practice candidates entry exemplars. So you can see some examples right here of what it would look like.
Okay, that's awesome.
Now, my instructions have gotten more detailed. So what you need to do is look at this as an example, but then answer the document that you're responding to. So they may not be answering to everything that you have because the document has evolved.
Okay.
You know, the guidelines. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's basically it for the special work for bilingual. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So I
Okay.
would just do those. That would just do those 4 entries.
In addition to everything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it for the sharing. Now the question about the RECA is when do we have to have it done? Basically, you cannot apply for your credential without a positive RECA result.
Okay.
So the sooner you complete it, the better.
Okay.
Okay. Like right now you have 2 extra days to study before clinical. Now you have Monday and Tuesday. I would study then.
Okay.
And take it as soon as you can. Take it as soon as you can so that if you don't pass it, you can retake it. Because all it will do, if you don't, you will pass the semester, but you won't be able to apply for the credential until your RECA is complete.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll do that. Okay. Awesome. And so the TPAs, I will know if it's in Spanish or in English until Wednesday if they give me a different grade or
Okay,
I stick with like,
you're mixing up the, okay, so, oh, I see your question. Hang on, let me stop the recording because I think that's good enough for the people who are gonna need to watch. Ooh, wait, wrong button.